Hey, this is Nancy Blanchard, and it's Tuesday. Does that mean it's Taco Tuesday, Speedy Tuesday? No, it's the AV Life podcast with the crew. You are listening to and watching the AV Life.
Well, I liked Taco Tuesday. I went Taco Tuesday. Now I'm hungry. It is dinner time here for Nancy and I. It's
Yeah.
dinner for us, but we do this for Tim and sacrifice dinner. My name is Joe Way. You are watching, and I don't have anything special like she had. She kind of one upped me, but I am a crew member again after being demoted for no reason at all. So you are watching and listening to the AV Life.
And I'm your host, Tim Van Woeart. Yeah, all right. Yeah, we're doing this for me that I'm recording at 8:30 at night on a Tuesday. Yeah, we're totally doing this for me. I also just ate dinner before I got down here. So, but anyway, yeah, I'm your host here on the AV Life, and you are watching and listening to us. So here we go today. All right, Joe. Yes, you are a crew member, and it was for good reason that we put you as a guest last time. We were talking about the road to 10K for HETMA. So who better to I mean, maybe aside Aaron, but you were a good second.
I'll come in second. That's fine. That's all right. I could have. My lead-in could have been Murphy hates me, because if I'm on, she's not. Right? You know how many episodes it's been that we've been on the same, maybe the same person. Have you ever seen us in the same room at the same time?
It's been a few years, I think, but it's
been a while.
yeah. Wow. Yeah, there you go. So there's our hashtag, Murphy hates Joe. But yeah, so yeah, we and now you're back. You're here as a crew member, so but we've been following along with our themes for the road to 10K. We did some great episodes about mentorship and coming up with our plan for what we're trying to develop as professionals in the month of July. And now here in August, we're talking about building our network and really getting that down. And Aaron Peterson came on last week, and he had some great tips for us on that and his journey and the things he's been working on. And also some failures maybe in his in some projects that he's currently trying to repair. But that was last week's episode. So so we're still in the month of August here, and I will say it's just me, but this month and this summer flew by. I was talking to one of my son's teammates' moms today, and she's like, "What happened to this summer?" I'm like, "I don't know." And she's like, "We didn't do anything." I'm like, "We didn't really do anything either, but this summer just blew by." I don't know if that's been the same experience for you, Nancy, and for Joe. Was this a fast summer?
Is fast. Now we're actually on quarter still, so we have 6 weeks until our classes start. And at home, we're an empty nester, so we still got good desert time. We're leaving tomorrow for the weekend in the desert, so it's definitely a summer.
All right, there you go. See, I got quite a few years still to empty my nest, as it were. So, Nancy, how about you? How's your summer been going?
Well, it's been busy with the new job, but see, it says birthday girl. So this is like the month of August. I started August 1st until the end of August.
You do the month? You do the whole month?
Well, I got my special glass, so might as well take advantage of it.
There you go.
Nice and colorful.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, it's like that with any new position. It was July 14th. So it's just been every day for me, meetings and learning the process and things like that. So, I mean, July went by fast.
Mm-hmm.
And, August, yeah, it's crazy. We have a lot of the summer festivals, music festivals and things around. So there's lots to do. Yeah.
Very cool. Nice. Yeah. And these last few weeks, we're actually taking like a summer vacation as a family, which I'm looking forward to, because that doesn't usually happen, between my wife working at summer camp and with I think with the new job this year, it actually makes it a little easier for me to be away in August like that. Since we don't start till the beginning of September, I can miss like a week in the middle of August to actually be able to take that time off. So I'm excited. And we're going to Hershey, Pennsylvania. So Chocolate World. So
Yeah.
I went to the Hershey factory once. It was cute. And
Yeah.
they get a little people mover, takes you around, and they give you little chocolates at the end. It's adorbs.
Yeah, my wife and I did it kind of like as a what they call the baby moon. So right before my son was born, like we went there. Just we did a few days out there, just to kind of get away. And we would have done Disney, but we were like, you know what, let's stay closer to home. So we stayed closer to home, and so we did that. It was fun, and now I get to take my son, and we're going with my sister-in-law and her family. So it's gonna be a good trip. So we're really excited for that. And then I get to do 3 days at the beach here in New Jersey to watch my son play baseball on the beach. So that's yeah. So it's in Wildwood, and there's a local brewery down there that sponsors 2 weekends of baseball tournaments for like I think it's from 8 to 14-year-old. So it's like they have different divisions for the age groups, and so yeah, they come out, they wet the sand, and they bring out the steam rollers, and they compact the sand so it's almost like turf. And then they do a little bit of work to the outfield too. But it's there's been some good reports from people that have gone in the past, so we're looking forward to having some fun playing baseball on the beach. So, and maybe I'll work on my tan a little bit while I'm out there. Not be so white.
So
So I
fun
just,
fact.
oh,
Go ahead, Nancy.
I was just going to say, I just remembered is, so I just booked end of August, Max and I, my youngest, fun-loving Mickey Mouse dude,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to Disneyland
Nice.
to celebrate the 70th anniversary.
Oh yeah, it's a good year. Yeah, good time to
Yeah.
go down there.
So we'll be doing 3 days. Yep. 3-day hopper, and looking forward to seeing, because we did the 60th, and really it is a lot of fun when they have the special events.
Yeah. Yeah, we
So,
went for the 50th for Disney World, and that was a lot of fun. So
yeah.
yeah.
Hashtag Disney is for tourists.
Hashtag call me a tourist.
It's like here, I was talking to somebody else here and be like, oh, the beaches? No, beaches are for tourists. You don't go, you can go to the beach. You don't go in the water. If you're in the water, you don't live here. Unless you're an early morning surfer, that's it. Beaches are for tourists.
All right.
Disneyland is for tourists. The Hollywood sign is for tourists. It's just there to keep you away from the areas we actually want to be at.
Yeah, I mean, the ticket prices, holy cow.
Oh, well, that's we're trying to budget for we're budgeting for an April, March, April trip. So
yeah, but it is what it is, right? It's the experience. It's the immersive experience and memories.
Yep.
The only problem is that my son, now that he's 21, he has to try all the frou-frou cocktails everywhere. And he loved Epcot because it was like drinking around the world. He kept ordering everything and anything, but it was coming out of my pocket.
Well, I'm excited. Well, I'm also excited because they just announced the opening date for the Pirates of the Caribbean themed bar at in Magic Kingdom in Disney World, and so that's kind of like what they did in over in Hollywood Studios with Star Wars and Olga's canteen over there, and so that kind of immersive themed bar. So I'm really excited for that because that's coming up. That's coming up soon. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah. So, and Joe, you were saying a fun fact before.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Oh, fun fact. You were talking baseball on the beach. My elementary school playground was on the beach. My elementary school was on the beach in Newport on the peninsula, Newport Elementary. So our playground was literally the beach.
That's cool. See, that's cool.
And, you know, there were little swings and stuff like that. And there was a little area of, you know, blacktop for basketball and lining up and, you know, that type of stuff. But literally we had the beach and there were just cones out there where you weren't allowed to go any further than that.
I didn't know you grew up in Southern California.
Newport, born and raised Newport. Where else you think I was from? That's where I am now, basically.
Wow.
Not very much further. Yep. Newport kid.
Nice. And then I found out a video popped up. Maybe it's because I was talking about the baseball tournament and all that. You know, my phone heard me, but I got a video about a town in Spain that hosts a tennis tournament on the beach. And what they do is they wait for the tide to go out, and then they make the court, and then they play while the tide is out. And then when the tide comes back in, they stop play. And so I was like, that's really cool. And I'm guessing it probably acts a lot like a clay court, you know, in that respect. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. I'm like, all right, so more and more things being done in the sand there. So,
Well, it make it a lot easier when you fall off the slides and instead of on the ground, boom, at least you got a little bit of cushion perhaps.
that's true. Flying off the swings and like just launching yourself, you know, it's like, all right, I'm just going to hit sand. It's fine. Very cool. Joe, I mean, you as you always seem to be, you are the world traveler, but more recently you were over at Infocomm Asia. And what was your experience like over there?
You know, Infocomm Asia, it was great. It was an honor to be there and present and give a little case study on what we're doing at UCLA. And also be there with the panel on AI and digital transformation. Incredible panel. So I will say, I think it was the third or might be fourth year of Infocomm Asia. I'm sure Avixa will correct me. But anyway, it's only a handful of years. Fantastic job. Joey Chu, who is in charge of content there and putting together, and Jinko, who's kind of the executive director of the whole thing, like just did amazing work in putting something together that, you know, the way I look at it is it's not like any other Infocomm. So not a lot of the quote unquote big players, you know, show up. You know, like, you know, as far as the big names you would expect, don't have, you know, Crestron didn't have a booth, Extron doesn't have a booth. You don't have, you know, Sony, Samsung, Panasonic. They're not doing booths, right? Yeah, I think the kind of quote unquote biggest name I can think of was Shure. They did have one. They're of course doing their 100-year anniversary world tour of everywhere, right? And so even though, and when you had people, they were kind of like 10 by 20s ish. Which was, and again, you kind of, what you got was a tighter feel, but I think there were, if I correct me if I'm wrong, there was about 200 exhibitors, which is, so it made it, it's about a third the size of regular Infocomm, which is of course about the third the size of ISE, right? So kind of put it in those terms, or I guess half the size of ISE for regular big Infocomm. So, but what you got was a lot of companies that won't travel to the US and won't travel to ISE. A lot of the startups, the closest I can kind of relate it to is it was very much like CES. It had that kind of, that CES innovators room where you go down the escalator and you show up and there's everyone showing their things. Like there was rollable LED walls. There was some cool AI, like computer program stuff that you could link in with your feed, some smart stuff. I kind of got the feel there were a lot of companies there waiting to just get acquired. Because even though, like I said, like you take like the big companies that didn't have booths, but you saw their people with, you know, shirts on walking the floor. So the floor was packed, but not in the same way that you would have expected, which also means that you have a lot of people able to roam, right? And so it had this really great family feel in the way. And I don't know, but it's weird. And it's wholly about innovation. So it was awesome. The content put together, they had summits. So I was there, helping out with the Learning Spaces Summit, and had great conversations about, of course, what we're doing here in North America. We know North America leads the world. We really do in innovation, and whatever we do, then UK and Australia will do next. And then from there, the rest of the world will do, right? Sorry, everybody in UK and Australia, rest of the world, you can get mad at me, but it's true, right? And so you had a lot of people coming and just talking and very interested about kind of like what we're doing, the state of the US, and just, I don't know, it was really, really cool conversations in the way that they had a little lounge set up so you could just sit down and have coffee. They did, it was very, very well done. I think it's going to take off. It looks like when they really set this up, it was very strategic to hit that region. Had great conversations with many higher ed people, like getting HETMA there, obviously, and establishing us in the Asian region. And APAC, and I think that we're gonna grow very strong. Already talked about doing some extra growth things there next year as well. So it was great. I mean, I applaud Avixa for what they've been able to do in a short amount of time. Intentional, not trying to just take ISE or Infocomm and say, let's do it here. Understanding that audience, understanding who's going to come. As it grows, you're going to start getting other names, right? But I think catering to the fact of that just made it was really a spectacular show.
Well, I have a question for you. So when I was on 2 employers ago, and I just started, and they said, hey, are you okay with flying to Melbourne for Integrate? And I'm like, sign me up. Hey, I've never been to Australia. And what I noticed there is that the majority it was distributors. So it wasn't the actual manufacturer. Did you see that? Where the booths had distributor with the various products?
The only distributor that I recognized there was Midwich. That was it. And Midwich had a booth, And again, and just to give you an idea, the largest booth was about a 20 by 20. And for the listeners to put that into perspective, the HETMA double-decker booth is a 20 by 20. We were 20 by 30 this last year. So smaller than the HETMA booth was the largest booth that was there. So put that in perspective, right?
Yeah.
And that's about what Midwich had. There might have been some distributors. I did meet with a couple people who do distribution, but it was not the feel at all. No.
I mean, so it sounds like, Joe, you had some like real meaningful conversations with people, and that was kind of like what this was, almost like a showcase for the little guy in a way.
I will say this. I came away learning something, and I'm used to going to shows now and being the entertainer and being the one that's putting on the show, right? I work the HETMA booth 24/7 at Infocomm and at ISC, and I'm there to, work, right? And of course I do vendor meetings and stuff like that. But I came away having conversations that weren't just about, here, join HETMA. Let me tell you, I learned stuff talking about other people, talking with what people are saying. Great takeaways, like just the way, it really seems like the high schools there get much more into innovation than we do. In their technology, they're much more advanced, where a lot of times we're smart board and or a very simple like Extron pole vault system, right? In our K through 12, and you do that and you do it in mass, and then you get to integrated systems much more. And growing up, when you get to higher ed, they started high school with those integrated systems. So, like I was on a panel with someone that, he was with Barker College, but the college was a high school. And he was talking about the stuff they were doing. The system's like, oh, wow, we don't see that unless you're at one of the elite private schools, high schools maybe, but you don't see that in standard schools. So I thought that was interesting. Had great conversations with that. I don't know. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of areas really wanting HETMA to step in as well. I will tell you that, because there's a big need for advocacy. I would say that they're probably 3 or 4 years behind us as to being a voice and a guide the way we are now in North America, right? If you think back to higher ed, say 6 years ago, 7 years ago, where like we've all talked about it, right? If your education was written on your badge, you were shoved aside for somebody else.
Right.
Now they see education, they bring us in, give us the tour and say, hey, do you want to grab drinks, right? Like there's a big change. They're still in that transition space where I think people want to talk to them, but it might be just to sell them stuff. I mean, I know when we're really talking to people and having drinks, they're really trying to sell stuff. I get that. But it is not quite guiding the vision yet, right? So in that sense where they're, I'd say, a little bit behind, there was a big pull in conversations I had, like at the network. And it actually worked out perfect. I had the summit, did the summit. There was an hour break into a 2-hour show floor reception that Avixa put on, the welcome. So then I invited everybody from my speaking and said, hey, you want to talk, you know, the summits are run like this. We can't answer questions. Come to the reception. Let's have conversations. And they were really talking about that. And we've been wanting, they've heard about HETMA. We really need you here. We really need this advocacy. We're ready for it. And I could tell they were really primed for it. So I think there's going to be huge opportunities, you know, with that. So yeah, it was great.
Very cool. I'm glad. And I'm glad that that recognition is coming out there. You know, it speaks volumes to the work that HETMA has been doing. You know, especially, you know, your vision, and you know, for those of us that were a part of the founding committees that were steering committee, you know, we were looking for that. We knew there was the need. You know, 6 years ago we knew there was a need, and to be able to see that now, like that's awesome. And yeah, so I mean, so again, I'll echo what you said. Like, so congratulations to Avixa then for a great show. It sounds like it was very well received, and you know, I could definitely see it just getting bigger and getting even more impactful as the years go by.
And it was my birthday, and I got to leave from there and go celebrate on rooftop bars with the AV.
I saw that.
You know, there you go.
I saw that.
I was trying to set the record for number of rooftop bars I could do in Bangkok. That's what they're famous for, right? So I think Amy was a little, okay, I'm over it. By the time every night I'm like, we can get another one in. We can get another one in.
What was the final number in attendance? Did they say?
It was around 8,000, I think. Yeah. So, which is, to me, that's EDUCAUSE numbers, right? I mean, and that's actually a good sign. People are wondering how big the show floor was. If you've been to EDUCAUSE, I'd say almost equal, right? Yeah. Not ginormous. Or put in perspective, Infocomm Vegas North Hall, right? Not the biggest of all the halls, but huge size. Imagine that pack. That's about
okay.
Yeah. And right? Did you come across a fair amount of people from the U.S. or no?
Some of our peeps, our AV peeps, were there, but that was about it. Not a ton. I don't think I saw another school. No, there might have been an end user from government. Is one of the Fed. It was about one of the others that I saw.
Because when you and I first met at ISE Amsterdam, there wasn't. It had just started being where more US were coming over, like my manufacturing reps, because their key end user clients were coming because they were global. This year, I mean, holy crap, how many US people there were.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it definitely wasn't there. I mean, I can also see in these financial times, like to justify a trip out there and do that, and what you're going to find. It is early. Like if someone in higher ed asked me, should I go next year? I would say yes, if you're already going to Infocomm Vegas and ISE, then maybe add it on, right? And only if you're looking to the future. Like the same thing. People ask me to go to CES. Sure, there's nothing wrong with CES.
No.
But it's just a bunch of vaporware, right? So unless, like, I go to CES not to find a product to go install right away, but to see the direction the industry is going in. Because if you look at the 30,000-foot view of CES, that's going to be where things are in 3 years. Not the particular product that someone's showing, but kind of the trend. And that's what I would have got out of this. So if you've got a huge project coming in 2 or 3 years, or you've got this grant where you have to do an immersive something XYZ. Igloo was there, right? They were there. They were doing their immersive thing.
No,
right?
I agree. And it's
absolutely go.
Yeah, and it's neat. It's neat when they have the pavilion area of all the different countries and the technologies that they're showing. Yeah.
Well, I will say I looked it up while we were sitting here. It's July 15th through the 17th in 2026. And it's back in Bangkok again. Yeah. So, and yeah, they actually had some statistics here. They had 40% international visitors. And yeah, you're right, Joe. It was just shy of 8,000. They call them business visitors. Yeah. And there were 256 new product launches. So for that, I'm taking these numbers right from the Infocomm Asia website. So this is what exactly what you were saying. You had 8,000 people in attendance for 256 new products. Those kind of ratios, it's crazy.
Yeah, and again,
and 58.
Go ahead.
58 participating countries and 170 exhibitors. So yeah,
so take that, because remember what I said, a lot of small people showing some really cool stuff too. By the way, this was one of the really neat things about the fact I was only having to really be there for the 2 hours of the education summit, right? Then I had a day where I kind of walked around, met with some people, etc. And I got to walk around. At Infocomm and ISE, I don't get to walk the floor. And I definitely, if I do walk the floor, I just hit the big players that I need to talk to. I don't get to do the outside wall stuff, right? And to find those up and coming. I just don't have time for that. I got to do that here. And it was every booth. It didn't matter which aisle you walked down, right? There was some of this stuff. So I can see why you could tout so many product launches, because this was probably the first time they were exhibiting. And they had, there was this, I wish I would have gotten it down. Literally, I love the fact that there was this cool, roll up LED. It was like paper. It was literally paper and LED, and you could shit. And I'm going, this is cool. You better get one of these big players to buy you up immediately and take whatever they offer you, right? And get some stock shares too, because it was cool. That thing needs to be somewhere.
Right. Because that's going to change. That's going to change the screen market entirely. Whoever gets that first is going to change everything. Because I will say, Absent is getting close to something like that. They're not that thin yet, not paper thin, but they're getting close, and they have something that's rolling. So
yeah. So I thought yeah. I mean, I'm starting to repeat my words, but overall, I give it a total thumbs up. I hope for their growth. I think they're going to get growth. They did a great job. Avixa knows how to do things too. They brought out, obviously, kind of the key influencers for each of the verticals, right? So it wasn't just me doing the Learning Summit. They had our ATIM counterparts there from Australia, who have the kind of the higher ed thing there in Australia, speaking as well. So that was higher ed. And then they also did the same thing and brought key, influencers for, say, the live events area or the travel area, right? So they did the right things to get eyes on the show, which probably, going back to the business, that's what they're there to do and build a show. And they did a great job. I could say that there was nothing wrong with it. Even my flight was great. The travel was great. The weather was great. Everyone was warning me, you're going to Thailand during monsoon season, and we had perfect weather the entire time. And we added a week's of vacation on before that in Phuket. I can't complain. And I came right back into, I don't feel like I've been on vacation, because it's been a hell of a week. So there we go.
Well, welcome back to reality. So, well, yeah, I'm glad you were able to be there to represent HETMA and be able to report back to us about that, Joe. So thank you for that. And as we're recording this, the HETMA is making their presence over at the Utah
Integrated Audiovisual Expo 2025. And if I didn't just write the post, I would never know that.
See, there you go. I just saw it. It was a really good picture of Troy there hanging out in Utah.
I was supposed to go there with Troy, but I couldn't make it.
Is that new this year, that show?
I don't know if it's new, but
I think they've been doing it at least a few years now, I think. But this is the first time like we're getting involved in it, because I know I've heard from our other HETMA folks that it's happened. It's at least had a year before this.
You're right. Remember, Jim Wellings had mentioned it or something a couple of years ago or something like that. So, but but then they reached out to us. And
it came highly recommended.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've never heard of it. How was the Northwestern HETMA Roadshow? Missed my pig roast.
Oh, yeah.
I heard. Well, they rained out, but they ended up making it great, right? Moved it in. Yeah. I guess Troy gets the standing ovation for, pivoting on a dime, right, and moving inside. Or they did the after party outside after it. It was just muddy. Like it wasn't raining during the event, but it rained overnight, right?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did a recording.
Oh, you were there. You were there.
No, I didn't go. No, I didn't go. No, obviously I stayed here in Jersey. But Brittany Grant reported back to us. She came on the show. We talked a little bit to her about it, and Renee was there representing Sony. So we got both sides of it, and all of the manufacturers were very impressed with how things turned around on a dime like that. It was a very well attended show. I heard the pig roast went pretty well too. So. But yeah, it was a good time. So, we're HETMA just keeps rolling along. So,
any more roadshows coming up in the future?
Yes.
And I don't have those dates on me right now.
Nashville.
Oh yeah, with EduCause. Yeah, because
So the Monday, October 27th. Mm-hmm. We talked about you having one. I don't know if that ever happened. Omaha is having one. I know I'm forgetting somebody, and listeners are screaming at this for not knowing. But the answer is yes.
Yeah,
there are.
It will. I actually have started some conversations with my folks at Rutgers Newark to see about bringing it back to New Jersey. I want to give folks.
Berkeley.
I want to give folks a chance. The Berkeley, there you go. Oh yes, I remember. Yeah, Matt's supposed to be doing that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. And I just spoke to him on Monday before he went off on his holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I've got support, but so I got support from my Rutgers Newark folks, early planning stage. But I want to find the right space for it. So once I get a little more familiar with the campus and I know where I want to go with it, then I'll put the hat in the ring again for Rutgers Newark.
And aren't you doing something with AVIT Summit this week? Is that this week?
By the time this episode comes out, it would have already happened. So
you'll talk about it next week.
I will talk about it next time we record. I will fill everybody back in on how it goes. And I'm myself, Erin Ma Moran, our illustrious chair. She will be there as well. We'll be representing HETMA, and hopefully some of our higher ed folk from the New York area came out and had a great time. So that's coming up on Thursday. That's in 2 days from now, or as we're recording 2 days from now. So,
hey, but now that you have someone putting them out for you.
Yeah, we've literally had an avalanche of episodes. Like I said, like that was the plan, and now we're doing it. We're getting them all out there. So, as you are listening to this, I am actually I'll be on vacation when you're listening to this, but but you'll the summit would have happened, and we'll hopefully to rave reviews. So we'll see how it goes. But yes, I have that coming up. Never a dull moment. So, and then I come back to getting things ready for the start of the semester. So, and we start on September 2nd, whatever that Tuesday is. So
we don't even start till the 25th. We'll have the HETMA Golf Classic already before I even start classes.
Well, there you go. That's the difference between your schedules and my regular semesterly schedule. So,
of course, with my new role now, I don't even notice when classes are in or not. That's what's so weird. Now that I'm just a suit, I have no idea if we're in classes or not. Like, It doesn't.
It does.
change
It doesn't
anything of my
impact you.
daily
I was
work.
gonna say it doesn't impact you the way it used to.
Outside
So
of outside of seeing when projects happen, because obviously you have more project load during that. But yeah, no, it's definitely different.
well, the goals that some of us can set ourselves for, the professional path going back to July, it's have no idea about what semester we're in.
Well, I mean that you got to build your network. See, let's go to August. Build
There
your
you go.
network.
Build the
Get those
network.
promotions.
Yep, there you go. So, but you know what? We'll start wrapping things up here now. It's been about 35 minutes, so I think thank you folks for listening in. And we'll keep it a little short before everyone starts hitting out for summer. Nancy, any other final parting thoughts before we head on out of here?
No.
All right. Well, thank you for hopping in here, Nancy.
Yeah.
Joe, thank you for taking your place as a crew member again.
And I behaved.
You
Yeah.
did.
We got to get him a crew T-shirt.
A crew T-shirt. Wait, didn't Renee? Renee didn't give you one. Wait, didn't you get one from Renee? Oh,
I
from a few years back.
Yes. I mean before the house lit up on fire.
Oh, was that left behind in there?
I don't have it in my possession, so it must have been before that.
I
wouldn't throw it out.
No, yeah. So we'll have to fix that for you, Joe. So, all right. Well, we'll get Joe a new T-shirt and get that all squared away. And to all of our listeners out there, thanks for chiming in. As always, if you see us on YouTube, if you see us on any of your podcast providers or on higheredav.com, HETMA.org, wherever you might find us, leave a comment. We'll always love to hear from you. Like, follow, subscribe, to whatever you got to do. And as always, until our next adventure.